Guten Abend, meine Damen und Herren. Willkommen zu den Hanover Evening News. Erste in Klarheit und Verantwortlichkeit. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Hanover Evening News. The first in clarity and accountability. Los geht's. Okay, so the current administration has given us a little perspective on the costs of Polaris planned teaching, research, and tourism hospital without even realizing that they did. Recently, there was a commissioning of the rehab of the airport, and they told us that it costs US around $65 million. So this was just some rehab and upgrade to the airport. Significant, however, and that's great, much needed. So that costs US $65 million. So I want you to do the math, and I want you to tell me how much you think an 84-acre teaching, research, and tourism hospital is going to cost. I know you people are smart people, so you know what's involved. The land clearing and grubbing, the site work, the civil utility work, the actual building infrastructure, then the medical infrastructure, and the staffing and so on to get this going. And tell me if you believe that it'll be worth it. How much are you going to charge people to use the services in a hospital, locally and regionally? You're already spending, $2.5 million per year for 15 years? So there you have it. That's already $37.5 million just to be able to be affiliated with Mount Sinai Hospital. And they package it as a strategic partnership, and they'll be giving advice and so forth. All right. So again, I just want you to tell me, I ain't too smart like these fellas. These young and bright fellas. These intellectual petty bourgeois. So you want to tell me that these intellectual petty bourgeois who are so young and so bright, you want to tell me that they cannot initiate one project with a 3 to 5 year timeline. Okay? So at least people can see it come to fruition. Right? But they have to drop this hogwash, white elephant of a project with a 15-year timeline. You know, it reminds me of back in the days when people used to jog water. So as a little kid, if you want to play with your friends, you want to hang out, when your mother said you out, to your father said you out to jog water, you don't go by the standpipe close to your house. You say, all right, I'm going to go by the standpipe farther down the road. So you hang out with your friend all evening, you play around, and you come back at 6 o'clock in the evening. Your mother says to you, what happened? Why you take so long? Where's the water? And he says, well, mommy, the standpipe close to the house wasn't working. Water gone, man. Standpipe close to the house. So I went further down the road to catch the water. So these guys are giving us a 15-year timeline. So, you could just sit there and wait, and when you ask a question, they say, don't worry, man, it's coming. I mean, are you kidding me or something? Do you guys think Grenada people are foolish or dotish, as we say? So we understand. It's all a gimmick. And they probably know why they set up the gimmick. Because they plan to use, it's a setup. They plan to use this gimmick of this teaching and research hospital very soon for future purposes. You'll see what I'm talking about. They plan to use this. You see what I'm saying? So it's a setup. So they're creating a foundation in your minds for the setup, which they plan to use probably in a year or two, We'll see. And then they might say to you, oh, well, we did a lot of projects. So we're not talking about throwing some concrete on the ground. I mean, wherever you throw them concrete on the ground to say you put in a little road or whatever, you can get the people in the community to do that. I could mobilize the people in the community to throw that little bit of concrete on the ground with some BRC. I know, you got to be a certain age to understand this. But the PRG used to do that all the time. So I don't know if your advisors are the ones that are advising you guys. And they used to use it to great propaganda effect, So I don't know. Probably it's the same strategy here. The only thing that's missing here is all the slogans on the side of the road, all the banners, and these big signs perched on the top or on the side of slopes. So once you're driving by, you can see them. Certain people know what I'm talking about. But that ain't no project. Ain't nothing went vertical. Okay? So that don't count. That does not count. And then they're going to say, oh, well, look at the airport project. Well, remember, the airport project is an NMP project, right? And that's okay. Continuity in government is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. But these young and bright fellas should be able to initiate one project, just one, okay? That will have a 3 to 5 year timeline. So at least something would materialize in their time of governance. Just something specifically, something uniquely that defines the current administration, that can be associated with the legacy of the current administration. That, my friends, will work very, very well for you guys.